Hey tankers, what is up? This is Alexbuildit, and today we will be taking a look at the Panzerkampfwagen II Lux, one of the brand new Tier 4 German light tanks that was introduced in 2.6. It is extremely powerful, it is extremely fast, and it is extremely dangerous with its very punchy auto-loader gun, which we will be taking a look at today. Anyway, in other news, we're almost to 1,000 subscribers, which means another giveaway coming soon. Let's get into the Lux now. The Lux was designed to be a light reconnaissance tank. The Ausfell was the only Panzer II design with the overlapping interweaved road wheels and the slack trap configuration to enter series production, with 100 being built from September 1943 to January 1944, in addition to the conversion of the 4 Ausfem tanks. Originally given the experimental designation VK1303, it was adopted under the alternate name Panzerwagen II and was given the popular name Lux, which is another word for lynx in America, another German cat. The Lux was larger than the Ausf-G in most dimensions. It was equipped with 6-speed transmissions and could reach a speed of 60 km per hour with a range of 290 km on its full tank. The FU-G112 and the FU-G SPR-A radios were installed, while 330 rounds of 20mm and 2,250 rounds of 7.92mm ammunition were carried. Total vehicle production equaled 132 vehicles. The top turret on this tank is not fictional, but it was never fully developed and never put on. It was just a prototype. Anyway, let's take a look at this tank in-game. Notice my loadout. You can pause the video if you want to take a look at how I load this up and why, which I will explain momentarily. Now let's take a look at the strengths and weaknesses of this tank.
Attributes. Now it's time to find out in which you excel. What makes you SPECIAL? You're special. You're special. You're special. Oh, so special. SPECIAL. Spells out that you're quite swell.
Pardon the Fallout 4 music, I couldn't help using that. And now we're going to take a look at other parts of this. As you see, it has very decent speed, very decent traverse. The turret traverse by itself is actually not that great, but combined with the vehicle traverse, you get a total of about 70 degrees per second, which is very decent. You have to be very careful about showing your tank. It's like a very good peekaboom. Its armor is non-existent, as you see right there. Well, it does have some, but it's just not that useful. It has very decent burst damage, around 210 on a low roll to 250 if all the rounds penetrate. As you see right there, you can absolutely obliterate anyone. It's very peekaboom dependent. Take a look with APCR. This thing is amazing. It'll go right through some of the most heaviest armored tier 5s. APCR is a must carry, but does get expensive very fast. Our first map of the day and our first gameplay will be Canal. Now to get started and taking a look at the different team compositions, I decide that we're going to head right. You'll notice I carry engine boost. Be like, that's kind of a worthless thing to carry, and you say, why not load adrenaline? The issue is, this thing cannot have adrenaline. Any autoloaders cannot, by nature, have adrenaline. No matter what tank they are, as long as they have an autoloader gun attached, you just can't use it. So in its place, I use adrenaline to get to positions before anyone else and to hold them. Say you get, like mines, where the hill is all important. As long as you get there before anyone else, it's totally worth it. I'm left here to showing you how decent the traverse and maneuverability is. You can drift in this tank, you can do all sorts of cool stuff that you wouldn't be able to do in heavy tanks or tank destroyers. Coming around this bend, trying to figure out where everyone is. I'm being not very cautious because normally on this map most people go right, even though the cap circle was changed in update 2.6. Taking around and found a target. Good thing about this gun, and one of the reasons that I carry vents and I carry gun laying drive, is that the gun that's already decently accurate becomes very accurate. And when you're firing so many shells and it's dependent on getting kills or such that all of them go through, it's important to make sure that they all hit. Right here, I'm trying to immobilize this engine, that would get him stuck and other people can finish him off. Look how they're getting obliterated by these just amazing guns. Going around over here, switch to APCR because I know there's a headster around the corner. Now, you only need APCR and a headster to penetrate it frontally. I managed to get around it. I didn't really have to use APCR there, but it would have taken a few seconds, which are crucial, if I wanted to switch back to AP. Heading right, I see a Matilda. Now watch the APCR on this. It is awesome. You can penetrate a Matilda frontally. And right here, I absolutely drop a whole bunch of damage on him. He hits me several times, that's not a good thing. But now I'm going to start setting up a circle on him, get around to his rear. Consider switching to AP, but I decided to use APCR for the moment. just to be on the safe side. It's not good to fool around with tanks that can easily destroy you if you're not careful. As you see, we've absolutely wrecked them and whatever they managed to throw up so far. Really easy to defeat, and these things are just so much fun to play. On our right here is Electo. That guy is about to get crushed. I'm not even sure what exactly that was supposed to be. He wasn't playing that smart. AFK, I bet. He got wrecked. Now, the reason I carry high explosive relic, but Alex, it only has 11 millimeters of penetration. It's for people that you just can't penetrate, and, like, let's say they're in a cap circle. If you use high explosive, you can damage their tracks very easily. I carry enough of it to have about 2 full clips, just in the very, very off chance that you need to track someone while they're in a cap circle. Better safe than sorry. Absolutely wrecked someone with my platoon mate, Griffin. Awesome work, awesome work. And now we're going to go on to our second match of the day. I'm going to be showing you different tactics that you want to use. Hull down. Although your turret armor isn't all that great, there's a lot of armor next to the gun itself, the little gun shield. As long as you're showing just less of the tank in general, you'll do better. Even if it's not that much armor and you'll get penetrated by what hits it, if you're showing less of the tank, you'll by definition get fewer hits on yourself. You're a smaller target. It's best this way. Now, I don't activate adrenaline boost right at the start, or not adrenaline, sorry, engine boost, saving that for if I actually needed to get away from someone, because this is a map where getting a position isn't all important, especially since I know I'm probably going to get there before anyone else. Now, this thing has very, very decent gun elevation and depression. There's someone right there, managed to get a few shells into him. Pull up, just getting a little bit of that, and fire. He bounces a shell, looks like it hit the gun shield. Getting that clip reloaded. One thing that is bad about this tank is that the clip reload is not all that great. It does take a long, long time to get that clip reloaded, which is why it is so important to make sure that all your rounds end up hitting the target. Like an M3 right here, that has very decent armor for tier 4, and just look how easy, it's like mache paper, it goes right on through. These rounds are awesome. And that was even with APCR. Some camper in the corner, he's about to regret that. I'd load APCR just because it's a little bit far away and I can't see the hit spin. Again, better safe than sorry. As you see here, I'm using hull down in a way and peek-a-boom in combination. When I peek out and do the booming, I'm just showing just enough of the turret, the advisable to make me a smaller target. Oh, someone tried to get it behind me. Sneaky, sneaky M3 Lee. Reload, and I'm just trying to get to a point where I can just shoot the turret and rely on nothing else. He manages to balance several of those shots. APCR may have been a better idea in this scenario, but he gets eliminated anyway. The amount of hit points you have is actually rather decent. It's not horrible whatsoever. Coming around the corner, looking for a few more kills right there. Easy shells in, easy shells out, destroyed. And I'm going to continue over this hill. Thinking about ramming this guy, might as well. I do not recommend this though, because you only weigh 13 times. There I did it because it wasn't so important. Now in this match, I am just going to be showing you another tactic, or another thing of why this tank is so decent. I sneak up around the flank and make sure that all the rounds penetrate. I get a really nice roll. And I'm also spotting. Now, spotting in Blitz is not as important as it is in PC because the maps are so much smaller. I managed to get around this guy. He didn't really even have a chance. He should have moved along with his team. He was trying to support them from the rear, but no one covered his right, which is why his plan totally failed. In A20, I make sure that it zooms in just enough to make sure most of my shells end up hitting the target. As no one is paying attention to me, I can do almost whatever I want back here as long as I stay a little bit careful. Looks like someone finally decided it was time to come after me, and he's about to regret this big time. Watch this.
Another one like that should finish them.
Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys for the sound. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say.
Silly music, yes, but I don't know. Use that for fun. It looks like there's a TD2 looking or maybe just running away from someone. I easily disperse of him. And here comes an A20. Now here is where I show you the decent circle of death and why it is so effective, especially in this scenario. Right there.
We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. We didn't start the fire.
trying to see if I can get a few shells into this M3 lead, but someone else finishes the job for me. That was a good demonstration of how to get into someone's flank and what you can do back there. Here we're going to play a bit more aggressively. We're on the new rework to Middleburg. I really like what they did to this map. It makes it so much more dynamic gameplay. Some battles actually happen in the town now, which is really different, and actually it can be really successful. The hill is not all important anymore, even though if you have mostly mediums or lights, I'd still recommend going there 9 out of 10 times. Waiting for the battle to start. Man, this tank looks really, really cool. Now, I do carry a piece of equipment that helps the tracks. It makes them have less damage. Now, when you're in a light tank, you may really want to consider having that equipment piece, because if you jump over like a little hill or something like that and your track is damaged, you can accidentally track yourself without anyone hurting you, and you'll be stuck in the middle of like an open field or something where people can shoot you. The reason I have this is that way if I accidentally jump over something, or I drift, or I fall off a hill or something, that I can just keep moving and hopefully not get creamed. In this little video, I'm going to be showing you the essence of Peek-a-Boom, making sure that everything's reloaded. Also, the frontal armor of this tank, the most armor it has on the hull is 50mm of armor, and that's not horrible, which is why I recommend showing you whenever you Peek-a-Boom, try to show the front at an angle. As you see, I'm just trying to show the very front, except for right here, I saw an easy kill. I had to take out the enemy Lux. Enemy Luxes are extremely dangerous. There's also a single shot form gun that's not horrible for this tank, but I think the main gun everyone's going to be using on this, if we're going to be truthful, is this awesome auto-loader. Wait for the gun to reload. If that guy isn't paying attention to me. This guy thought he was safe back there, but before I can kill him, someone else decides to do the job for me. Get up close. I decided to ram him, but that was not the best idea I ever had. Remember, this thing was only 13 tons, but the Electo was only 10, so I knew I had the advantage there. Still, probably not the safest idea, but their team was getting wrecked anyway, so it didn't make much of a difference. As you just see, this thing is really fast, really punchy, high penetration, and it's actually fairly decent at long ranges. Like right here, let it circle in, and you can damage people from all the way, like 500 meters, 300 meters, accurately. Now in this next match, I'm going to be showing you a bit more aggressive. Instead of just going around flanks, hiding, firing, I'm going to be showing you if you want to go and tango with the other tanks, up and personal. I really like the camouflage with the stripes for the Germans. I think it probably looks the coolest. I see that the most on any German tanks. Consider activating adrenaline, or not adrenaline, engine boost, just so I can get to this front faster, since I want to go down the center lane. Now the center lane is a bit dangerous, unless you get there first, but I'm going to try to use it for Peek-a-Boom, and expecting to see some people, and yes, I sure did. An enemy Lux, and also someone back there. Right now, I'm just spotting for people behind me. Hopefully, I didn't look, but behind me there's the tank destroyer. I'm hoping maybe he can do something with those people that I am spotting. There's a Lux. I decided to go ahead and get some shells into him. Thankfully, I get away with almost not a scratch. That enemy Lux only had like 1 or 2 shells penetrate against me. Now watch this burst damage. This martyr thinks he totally has me. The answer is not for you. Boom, a hole clipped. I clipped out another tank. Reload the clip. I'm being chased, but the guy behind me doesn't seem like he really cares if I'm here or not. So I decided to make him care. Get a full clip. I'm getting attacked from behind, so it is time to move. I start a circle of death. He can catch up with that shirt though, so I just try to get to a point where I'm safe. The enemy Lux has decided that it's time to try and catch up with me, so I have to be careful about this. He has a single shot gun, but honestly, I like the auto-loader form much better than the single shot gun. And he can almost clip me out, and then this happens. Thankfully for that fire I started, I put him down to a point where I have the upper hand rather than him. He's trying to outmaneuver me back here until I go backwards. He tries to reverse, but it's too late. I managed to get 1 round out of the 2 I fired from that mini clip. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to deal with this guy in the center here who's sort of harassing my other guys, and cue the music right now. Go Going down the hill, I should have honestly doubled back. This is an example of how not to do it. Rushing forward, not really caring where anyone was, and that got me killed. Still a decent game. I managed to go ahead and cream some people. Pretty decent. Now this match was one of the funniest games I've had in a long time due to reaction a player has to a mechanic that I abuse. Waiting for the game to go ahead and load up. Here we are. I'm going to go ahead and go on to the mill. I should activate my adrenaline boost here. Not my adrenaline, the engine boost, Alex. Engine boost, not adrenaline boost. Engine boost. We're going to go ahead and use the engine boost to get to the top of the mill before anyone else can. Go ahead and activate that. Now with that, you can get to about 63 kilometers per hour extremely quickly. This tank is one of the fastest tanks available to you at this tier. It is a whole bunch of fun to play. Moving on up, following everyone else. Going to the top of the mill here. I'm going on the ridge, that way just in the off chance that I might be able to catch someone and spot them on the left. I decide to take the center road instead. Remember, light tanks get to keep their camouflage while they move. But again, scouting is not as important in Blitz as it is on PC. Now here's a good example of how decent the gun depression is. Right here I use APCR just to be safe. You'll notice on the Lux, like I mentioned earlier, around the gun is like almost an impenetrable shield due to the very thick mantlet that the gun itself is covered by, like right there. Cream him with armor piercing. Trying to just show the turret. Use an M3 Lee. I load whatever was left in that last clip. Get it clip completely reloaded. Waiting for it. There's the Lee's fatal weakness right there, people. You can see that top and absolutely obliterate it. And this guy's reaction to it is absolutely hilarious. Waiting for it. Right there, folks. That's the problem with the Lee. You should have stayed a bit back. Play the Lee like a sniper. I don't ever play it that close up. How? He says. Reloading, there's an AT. I couldn't even see the tank! Yes, we know you couldn't see the tank. All you had to do was aim for that top turret. I had to edit out some bad language he says yet. It's kind of funny because he just doesn't understand the mechanics of this. You shot through the hill! No, I didn't. Again, I just hit that top video. Someone needs to watch the Unicum's Guide to the M3 Lee by Simon Phantom. That's really funny to watch. Reload, and put a big old round right into the center of that Panzer 2G. Thought he could do it. I know about gun depression, though. Know that? It sort of had something to do with gun depression, but that wasn't really the point, bro. You gotta learn to play the M3 Lee a bit farther back. That's what a lot of people with the M3 Lee managed to do wrong. Obliterate someone with this. He was angled just enough to bounce about half my shells. That Panzer 2G was, that is. Yeah, just to the point where I can shoot him again. I move up, some shots where I'm not going to penetrate, and I absolutely dominate. 5 kills, really great. I hope you understand just how amazing this tank is. I'm afraid it might actually be nerfed. Now you take a look at this, a replay of this. This is absolutely hilarious, guys. Get wrecked, bro. Mastery, 1,678 damage. And once I got a 2,500 damage game. But unfortunately, I forgot to record. That was my second game ever in the Lux. As a tier 4, this thing is really cheap, so you have no excuse for not getting it. It's a great seal clubber, tons and tons of fun to play, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of review, a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of history about this tank. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing, liking, and commenting. Alexbuildit out. Blitz on, tankers!